Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? You already know fantasy football is back, and so are the fantasy Fruit Loops. Oh, me and Snafu coming to you, trying to let you know, help you out, trying to bring those victories back. Snafu, you won one of your leagues last year, didn't you?
Uh, yes, I did. So that's not a bad it was not a great season for me. I won one, but I came in last in one of them too. So like that, I don't listen to me. That's
Listen,
you just throw darts at the wall if you want my opinion.
isn't that pretty much what fantasy is? Everybody thinks there's pros and they can all pick them and do it. I'm going for my three-peat. I've actually won my league the last 2 years in a row, and I'm going for a three-peat this year, starting out 2-0 on the right foot. But you never know. Like we were just saying, there's so much luck involved. Like you think you know, and your player just goes out and does a complete, absolute turd. So, yeah, it's
Yep.
all luck. What are you going to do? We're just going to have some fun with it and see if we can help some people out and win their leagues this year. Oh man, we might as well just get it started. How was your draft? Tell us about your team.
Okay, so I have some pretty great teams, and so do you. So before we get into our drafts, how do you like auction drafts as someone that's never done it before?
Yeah, for my first time, I mean, I had a good time. It was fun. I love my team that I put together. I took an absolute flyer. I didn't do any mock drafts. Like this was literally me just jumping in and just like kind of seeing what everybody else was doing, and I kind of knew which players I definitely was going to just get no matter what. Because in my opinion, to win championships, you have to have all stars. You can't just have these mediocre teams and just think they're going to get you through. You have to have at least one, preferably two, and if you can do it, three all-stars on your team if you really want to walk through the playoffs and win your fantasy Super Bowl. And I mean, that's just kind of the way I go about it.
See, my opinion is you have to have so like that's risky going really big on really top dollar players, but it can pay off provided they don't get hurt, right? It's like the number one overall pick. Like you either do really well or really bad with the number one overall pick. There's no in between. So it's kind of like that, but I think in auction drafts you can win because without like a complete star player because you can pick all fourth round picks. So like if your whole team was filled up with fourth round picks and you never had to consider like who you're going to start and who you're not, like you never have to worry about a dud, you can win that way in auction leagues. So I went different strategies in different leagues. The one we went in, obviously, I went for more stars. Like I have more stars in that one than
Oh yeah,
my
crush
other
it too.
one. But
Yeah, and you sniped some people from me too, like because I did go so big on my stars. Like some of the other guys that I thought were gonna do well this year, like you just $1 me. I was like, you bastard. I was
that's
so mad, but I mean
that
that's the
was the
deal.
experience.
I was willing to give up all my money for like two or three just who I considered top dogs, and then I'll just fill in the gaps with what's left. And I mean,
Right.
yeah, I mean, basically, you win the league on waiver wires. You've got to be able to work waiver wires and hit those because people are going to get hurt. You got to get your fill-ins. You got to be first to the best player that's going to do it. And so, yeah, it's like I said, as long as your three main stars stay healthy, you can fill in the gaps in the rest of them.
Right.
And that's kind of the way
And
I go about it.
that's the second thing we needed to get into is fab. Is it that should be even if you do not do auction leagues, fab should be universal in my opinion. Everybody should do it because
That's why
priority is ridiculous.
That's what I was gonna say. That's why in my league, that's why I do the Wild Wild West because I just hate the fact that it's like waiver wires. Like I just hate that. I hate waivers.
Right. So we were kind of talking a little bit before the stream. My season in one of my leagues is done. It's a 2 quarterback league, so super flex, where I had Trey Lance, but I did not have number one priority for waivers, so I was not able to get Garoppolo, which is the only other quarterback available. Like I'm down to such slim pickets. I have Pickett on my team. Like maybe he starts, maybe not, but when will that be? I don't know. I mean, It provided
Pickett
he
the
doesn't.
receiver?
Oh no, the quarterback.
The quarterback. I
Pickens.
picked him up in my league too. Okay. Which one? Yep. Okay.
So I had, but right now Tomlin's saying he's not going to start no matter what. Like Rudolph's going to come in. Like if they decide to bench him, like Rudolph's going to play. So they're like he's going to bench him the whole season. I'm holding on to him just in case because
Rudolph could come in for 2 plays and get hurt.
Yeah, and coaches lie. Who's going to tell you what they're actually doing, right? Like
the Belichick effect.
Right, but that's a bummer. Whereas if I really wanted to with Fab, I could spend all my money I have and say, I definitely need this player. I can blow all $100 on this player to salvage my season.
So that's the one thing I don't really understand about Fab. It's like, okay, so what happens if it's early on and 2 people both blow the wad? And real quick, what's up, Jake Cruz, Celebrity Bikini, Christian Oles? I see you out there. But yeah, what happens like if it's early on and both players say, I'm willing to spend $100 Fab because I lost Dak and I want Garoppolo, or I lost Trey Lance, I want Garoppolo. So what happens in that situation?
Then it goes to waiver priority. Now I can change it to make it, which I might do if there becomes like too many discrepancies, like where that's happening, people are bidding the same amount, and it ends up being a lot of waiver stuff anyway. I'm going to switch it to record based. The person with the worst record is going to get waiver priority over in a draw. But right now it has waiver priority. So like if you bid the same amount.
You outbid me this, and I didn't, and that's the other thing where you're like, because you've been doing this for a while and I've never done it. That's where you're gonna get me. Because like Dobson, we both wanted him. I figured people were gonna put like $5 out, so I put 6, and then all of a sudden I see you got him for like 15 or 16. I was like, oh shit, I wasn't nearly enough. So I don't know how much is like an appropriate bid. Like I'm just not quite sure. I'm gonna have to feel that out. I'm gonna have to learn that quick on the fly.
And that one, I kind of like it that way. You don't know what people are going to do. You can look it up. A lot of what people will say, they'll be like, I don't know, 10% of your fab, whatever it is. But they're going based off of 10% of what you have left, right? So there's no definitive answer what someone's willing to pay. Because if I have $100 left, and we both want the same players, and you have $17 left, you're not going to like –
10%.
You're not going to be able to compete with me. Right. And so for me, I wanted him. And like we both know that the first 4 weeks, that's really where you can pick up players that are going to have a breakout year. So for me, I'm going to pay a lot in the first 1 to 4 weeks, 1 to 6 maybe, where I'll pay way more in Fab than I would later in the season.
See, and that's where we kind of differ, and this is, where you're going to get 2 different perspectives on things, because I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, do not panic shop. I'm like, you picked your team for a reason. Unless somebody gets hurt or you see that they are just out of the game plan completely, I say don't even make a move for the first 3 weeks. Now, if there's like all of a sudden this stud running back that breaks out for 200 yards and shows you that nobody saw this coming, that's not a freak thing. That's an animal that we all miss that we need to pick up on. But that is so rare and far between. I'm like, wait your first 3 weeks. You picked your team, let it pan out. Things are going to happen. We already saw pretty much most of the league had a shit game one game and a great game the next game. So, I mean, most players were like that. So kind of wait it out, wait 3 weeks, see what happens, and then start getting super active. Besides the fact that a lot of situations happen like what happened this year. All of a sudden, the running back for San Fran gets hurt. Everybody's like, oh, my God, I need Jeff Wilson. And you got everybody trying to blow their fab. I mean, people are going to go high and get rid of their fab. Now you've got 100% of your fab left when everybody else is going broke on all these other players.
Right. But, like, the breakout stars, you figure them out. Like, you have to, like, give it. And who did I drop for it?
I didn't even see. I just saw you got
my kicker. I'm not dropping one of my players I picked.
Okay, right.
I dropped a kicker for it, and I'll do that. Like, this is what I do. Like, the first
But then, so
1 to
what? You
4
just go
weeks.
without a kicker in your game?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I'll go without a kicker. And that's rough. Like, I won this game by 1 point, right? I did last week. So without a kicker, I lose. But maybe I ball out, like just getting Dotson. You know, I put it out there. Maybe it'll pay off as it goes. But I like to pick up rookies to see which one pans out.
Oh, what does he say? I'd like to see the Steelers fans' reaction if Tomlin puts in Rudolph over Pickett. Yeah, me too, because I did the same thing. You know what's screwed up is that's another thing. I was something glitched into my phone. I was doing it on my phone or whatever. It was on my laptop, I think. But I just remember something glitched, and I was trying to get it. So then I just typed in Pickett, and I was trying to put in the receiver, and it put in the quarterback, and my time ran out. And I was like, son of a. And then nobody ended up bidding on him, so I ended up with him, the quarterback pick. And I was like, because I wanted George. I was like, oh, son of a.
So I didn't want to stream. I kind of wanted to stream beforehand, like, or during that draft. We should do one like that. Like,
yeah, definitely. I think that'd be
where
fun.
we stream, because for anybody that doesn't know, auction drafts take a long time. Well, it was like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, it took way longer than I thought. That's right. I was on my laptop out of my parents' house, and the thing glitched on me. That's right. That's exactly what happened.
So my strategy this year was put up people that I did not want, but I knew had value to make people waste money, right? Or like, that's what I do. I don't want you, like, only when people are down to like whatever their max bid is, $2. Once most people are down to like they can only bid $2 at most on a single player, will I start picking players that I actually want.
Yeah,
but what I typically do is save a bit of money so that whenever they pick, everybody starts doing that at the end, and then I can snipe those players from them.
Oh, you sniped a couple for me. I was just irritated. I think you even got Barkley from me right before I won, or maybe that was my other draft. Chad did it, but yeah, I got sniped on Barkley in a couple of them because I really thought he was going to be good this year.
So. Me too, but I didn't pick him in any of my leagues. It was like he would always get picked right before me.
Yeah, I was irritated. And he was laughing. He was like, because then I ended up picking up Kelsey, and he's like, oh, I was thinking about Kelsey. I was like, I wanted Barkley. But we'll see how that works out. But yeah, I really thought Saquon was going to do it this year. And I mean, he's just crushing. Sick. I mean, didn't have the greatest second game, but I think he's back on track, and he's going to be there. He is definitely going to do it. Oh, it was wild. But 2-0. I'm 2-0 in 3 leagues, and you're 2-0 in 4 leagues?
And I'm 2-0 in 3 and 1-1 in the other one where Trey Lance got hurt. That's the league I'm 1-1 in.
What's up, Peter Griffin? I see you out there. Welcome back. It's fantasy football time. Oh, yeah, I was down Monday night too, and Hurts just went absolutely berserker for me and brought me home. That was amazing. Oh, yeah. Man, the Vikings. Yeah, I have Cook too. What's going on with Cook this year?
I think it's just adjusting to the new offense. Like, man. I wouldn't trust Cousins in prime time. I had him in one league and out in another league, which, you know, I just like to hedge my bets there. But I think it's all part of that because on Monday, Jefferson didn't do anything. Like, if you had anybody, I saw a meme out there that was like, you know, the meme where they're throwing it up. It's like Russell Wilson, like, F it, Metcalf's out there somewhere. They had one of Kirk Cousins doing that, and he's like, F it, Slay's out there somewhere.
Oh, that is brutal. It's like, so many people decided to take a flyer this year and absolutely take Justin Jefferson as their first pick, number 1 overall. Like, got the first pick, didn't take Taylor, didn't take McCaffrey. They're like, screw it, I'm going to receiver, and took Justin Jefferson. What about all those poor managers?
That's rough. Like, I like it, kind of. I never do it, but I'm always like proud of people that can go wide receiver number one. And I realized that it's smart. Like, it is a smart move if you can get like a top 3 receiver, right? Because then you take one of those top 3 off the board. A lot of times second round running backs end up like breaking out. And so maybe you get lucky there. I just don't have the balls to do it. Like, I would never be that person. I'm going to pick the best running back available.
Yeah, there's just not enough of them. You got to get them when you can. And it's I don't know. It's crazy. Like, they all look like geniuses in the first week. Everybody who did that, the week 1 was like, oh my God, I'm the smartest in the world. Because week 1, all the receivers just crushed it. And then week 2, most of them took a back seat and sat down. So now it's like, oh my God, what did I do? I mean, I got lucky enough when I blew the wad and took JT in your league. It's like I ended up getting got picked to get the number 1 pick in my other league, in one of my other leagues. And I was like, I can't take JT twice. Like, what if he gets hurt in both leagues? So I ended up taking McCaffrey in that one and just taking a flyer. And he's been consistent. I'm not mad at him. He's been consistent. But we need him to do more.
I'm mad at him. They need to give him the ball or something. I don't know what's happening over there, but dang.
What's going on with running backs in general? I mean, dude, all the number 1s, are you kidding me? I mean, it's terrible. Dude, what's going on with your boy out there? King Henry is not looking very kingly lately.
I don't know. Hey, this is why I bet against the Titans, man. Like, hey, these are the guys that can win me a bunch of money. Like, yeah. I don't know. Henry, I usually do PPR, so Henry's not as valuable there anyway, except in your league is the only one that's not PPR. So I never see him as valuable as you guys would. Which, can we talk about for a minute, like how we are in a 10-team league. And if I pull up my teams, my worst team will be in your 10-team league. Like, your 10-team league, my team could not beat any of my other teams in any other league. It's insane how bad my team is.
That's crazy. How does that happen?
I don't know. I think it's because I like auction drafts so much. Like, when I get in snake drafts, it's like, oh, look I could just get me another running back here or whatever. I do like best available a lot of the time. And then I'm like, I'm scrambling for whatever. And then, but yours, my big problem was like every other one of my leagues is a super flex. And I picked Josh Allen like as an instinct in the 3rd round. And I was like, this is not a super flex league. It's worked out so far, but he's gotten like 40.
You're 2-0. What are you talking? Are you kidding? You're 2-0 and you're worried about it like that? Talking about how bad
I know, but it's the perspective. It's like this is a 10-team league and it's a snake and I should have like a pretty balanced team. And then in the auction league, it's like, man, how is my team?
Quarterbacks there's a lot of parity in the quarterback spot, but I still would never think it's a bad idea getting Josh Allen in the 3rd round. I mean, he's the number 1 scorer. He's blowing things out of the water. I think he's the best QB in football. I mean, I just don't think you're ever going to go wrong with Josh Allen on your team. And if you can wait till the 3rd round, which I will not wait, but if you have to take him in the 3rd round, I think it's smart. I think him, Mahomes, and even Herbert, I would have done it. Now, he's got banged up and he's off to a slow start. But
Herbert's got a bunch of points. Not in my leagues. He's like,
right, yeah, with all the extra stuff. But I mean, now he's got that cracked rib. We don't know how he's gonna do. It's like, I don't know.
It's the cartilage, right?
Yeah. I mean, he looks like he's gonna be a go. They said he was throwing it okay in practice, but I don't know, man. The ribs for a quarterback who likes to gun it like he does. And they said it's not so much the problem is what he has now, it's protecting it from getting even worse. So if he takes another big hit, that's gonna be a problem.
Right. My daughter watched that game with me and she's like, she thought like they were going to come back and win. And she's like, it was almost like when that guy in Florida State almost came out after he got really injured and he came back and almost won the game. I'm like, yes, we aren't. It was just like that.
You're like, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
Speaking of comebacks, how about those Fins? I know we got Celebrity Bikini out there. How about them Dolphins? That was absolutely
And that was a big comeback.
dude, one of the greatest in NFL history. It was absolutely
Dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, Jake, I had Landon on the bench too this week, but I'm going to be getting him in the lineup this week. Don't worry about it. But yeah, last week I had those points sitting on the bench as well. I was like, whoa.
Didn't we all? I don't think anybody started London. Like, I'm out there, same thing.
You said, I made a few decisions, not pick the same guy in both leagues. Yeah, you got to kind of do that because if they do end up getting injured, you're screwed. So you don't want to have the same teams. Like, no matter how good you think they are, you don't want to have the same guys in all your leagues because, yeah, they go down, your whole season's crushed. So, like I said, I had JT in one. I just had to take a flyer on Christian in the other because I wasn't going to do it to myself. That guy gets hurt or has weeks like he had this week. I mean, that's just terrible. But what is just going on with these running backs? Like, was this the year to go 0 RB? Like, we're just talking, me and you were ready to get all the good running backs in the first round. But, I mean, it's not just Henry. Cook looks awful. Eckler, Taylor, Najee Harris. I mean, everybody is just horrible. Like, what's going on with running backs?
I don't know. Like, I thought it was like a genius out here. Like, I didn't even know how it happened. In my one league, I was cracking up because it went quarterback number 1. And then like 3 quarterbacks went off the board in the first round. So I picked up Eckler. I was at the 6th pick. And I was like, I'm feeling good about that, right? And then it comes back around and people were panicking over quarterbacks. So I was like, all right, I'll get Joe Mixon at number 2. And in the second round, I'm like, I'm a genius here. Like, I'm gonna win this league.
Right?
Nope.
No.
I'm ending up with Baker Mayfield as my quarterback, and what's his name? Just got hurt. Jeez, Trey Lance.
Brutal.
Yeah. So now,
what's up, Phantom B saying? I see you out there. What's good, brother? He got to get you into some football. Check it out. Love that fantasy football. Oh man. Yeah, it's going to be the game of the week. What do you think about the Bills and the Dolphins this week?
I mean, I like the Bills, but I'm just gonna bet against you, so like that's what's gonna happen. I don't know. I can't help it.
Oh, Peter Griffin. He said he had the Waddle this week. Dude, Waddle and Hill, what's going on? Tua time all day. Man, I mean, is Tua for real? Is he going to be able to keep these up?
I don't know if he'll be able to keep it up, but it's fun to watch for now. Like, some of these balls is like, it's like when Johnny Football was throwing it to Mike Evans in college. Like, some of these balls, like, is a corner out there somewhere doing their job? Because that was kind of ugly, and yet it still goes for 70 yards. Like, I don't know. When I was watching,
Tyreek Hill still had to slow down and come back to a couple of them, but hey,
yeah,
I mean, it was what it was. We got it done. That was amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of 2 and 3 back systems, but that's the only way to keep these guys healthy these days. I mean, having one back, like, you're just pretty much, unless you're Jason Taylor, never going to make it. And I don't even want to jinx it, but yeah, most guys can't make a full season on their own. Like, they've got to have some help. I mean, Najee Harris, I mean, he's going to have the shortest career in NFL history the way the Steelers use that guy. That guy's not going to be able to walk in 5 years. That's just crazy to me. How can you do that to your body?
Well, Taylor still has Hines.
Yeah, he's got Hines hurt, but I mean, he's still taking 3/4 of the workload. Like, Hines has not been getting a lot of run. Oh, who did you want in your draft but got sniped on?
Barkley.
Saquon's a big one.
Yeah.
George Pickens was a big one. I got
you on that one.
That was ruthless. I wanted more. I wanted Amon St. Brown in all of them. I think I got him in 2 of them. I missed him in 1. But yeah, he's a sick one. What about your boy ETN? Oh my God, the whole world last week was talking about ETN, still the guy. ETN, I was like, nope. I put him on my bench because I have 2 of them in one league. I sat him on the bench and I put in Robinson because if Robinson's a go, Robinson is the go. I mean, are you kidding me? What do you think about that situation?
I'm kind of happy. That's another one that I got sniped on a lot. I was going to get ATN, but he didn't do anything. So I'm glad everybody sniped me on him. And Robinson coming back from the Achilles, like, that's a big deal. Nobody's been able to do that in the NFL before. So he's like, Adrian Peterson of modern day. Because if you remember, nobody had come back really from ACL tears like
Right.
Peterson did. And then
That's
it
true.
was after that people were like, oh, like you can come back from an ACL tear and be just the same or better.
Yeah, freaking Hill is just freakishly fast, cheatily fast. So yeah, it's gonna be hard for you. Got to have a cannon. You need a Josh Allen on to not be able to outrun you. Absolutely. Oh, speaking of mixing, how about those Bengals? Yeah, man. You know what? I've done myself a lot of favors over the years by never buying into a Bengal. I did it one time, and I was like, never again. And I just don't pick up Bengals ever. Bengals and Browns, unless your name's Nick Chubb, I just leave you alone. I'll take Nick Chubb. I've had him the last 2 years, and he's been crushing it for me the last 2 years. But any other Bengal or Brown, I don't care how hyped you are. No Jamar Chase for me. No Burrow. Not just you can have him. And I've done myself a lot of favors that way.
Except last year, you missed out on Chase. Like I didn't pick up Chase, but I have him in one league. It's not doing that great for me after last week. But same with Jonathan Taylor. Like if you had Jonathan Taylor last week, you're like, oh, bum.
Oh, so lucky! I was so lucky to win. But I had Amon St. Brown in that league, who just went berserker, so it all worked out for me. But yeah, that was just absolutely insane. Oh, it's been a great year so far, but I mean, can it keep up? That's just it. Speaking of up and back, is Saquon back to being the number one running back in football right now?
I don't know about that, but he's up there. Like he had an off week last week too. So,
Man,
but he looked back. And
the way
that's
he
one
ran
that
that
I'm more
2-yard
bummed.
point or that 2-yard extra point. I mean, oh my God.
Yeah.
He's running hard. He doesn't look like he's favoring anything. Unlike King Henry, he looks like he's running soft like butter. Like he looks like he's still hurt to me. What the hell's going on?
Yeah, but he's always like that. Like if you ever watch Derrick Henry in the beginning of the season, this is how it starts out almost every year. So
really, I always thought he ran harder, and I guess I just didn't really notice that. But I always thought he ran hard, and he looks like he's just pussyfooting back there.
if anybody hits him from the side, he like falls down. Like you'll notice that early in the season, they hit him kind of low, and he always falls down. There's probably a million videos of him getting like completely wrapped up at the ankles and him just falling down sideways. And that's like they'll hit him top, grab the legs, and then he like tips over. That happens a lot early in the season. Later as he goes, like he'll bust through those.
Oh man, everybody was so hyped on Bruce Hall. I mean, he's not even a sleeper anymore. Everybody just thinks he's going to. I mean, you think he's going to do it, or does Michael Carter just take too much away from it for really let him bust out?
I would like try to get Brees Hall. Just like he has the talent, and he showed it, but it's just I think later as it goes, like he's going to take over. Carter's had years to like prove that he can do it, and it's like I'm not going to trust him.
I think Carter's a good running back. I mean, he runs hard. He's just so injury prone. He's always hurt.
Yep. So either way,
I mean, if he's not on the field performing, he's not on the field performing. Other than Kelsey or Andrews, is there any tight ends you believe in out there?
Yeah. Well, maybe not one that I totally believe in. Yeah. Higbee, like I'll go with Higbee. I'm not doing anything exciting, like, but he'll get you points. Like he's pretty steady. Everett might get you some points, but
Everett's looking like he might do something this year.
So, but other than that, I don't know who I'm like sticking with. I have Andrews in most of my leagues, so please don't get hurt, Andrews. Like, whatever.
I think Irv Smith has some promise this year. I know he's kind of dropped some balls, but I mean, I don't know. I think they're gonna. I think with if Cousin ever gets back on track in this new offense, I think he has a chance to be good. And who I really think is going to shine this year is Logan Thomas. I think he's going to be a star. I think he's going to be probably a top 3. I think he might outdo Weller this year by the end of it. So I don't know. That's
He
just me. I picked him up, but I like some Logan Thomas.
wasn't he available in my league today or like earlier today?
Maybe I have him in 2 leagues. But yeah, I think Logan Thomas is my guy who I picked up. I have Kelsey in 1 league, so it's like you're not going to drop him for that. But yeah, it's like I think Logan Thomas is going to do it. I got a lot of faith in that guy this year. But other than that, I mean, dude, we thought the tight end position was a barren wasteland last year. Look at it this year. There's nobody. There's just nobody doing anything. Oh my God.
So Logan Thomas is available in my league right now. You want to pick him up? Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, I might have to get him, pick him up and get him because there's just why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? I think that guy is where it's at. Yeah, I'll definitely pick him up. And if I don't know, so if nobody else puts a bid in on him, I have to pay at least $1 for him, right?
No, you can bid $0, and if nobody bids,
really?
then you don't lose any money. So, but right now, you can pick him up.
I don't know, man. Mark Andrews looks pretty tight. I think Mark Andrews is definitely going to be there this year too. He looks like he's ready to have another year. And I mean, God, dude, how do you have a game like, I total mind block right now. But how do you have a 70-yard pass, a 70-yard run, and still lose? Like that's just insane, man. Baltimore, it's like they need to get some DBs because they're just.
Ooh.
You can't have your quarterback just ball out of control like that and not win. Like,
dude, you can't have like a guy do a quick slant and run it 60 yards up the field for a touchdown. Like, where is your secondary? I don't know if it was really 60 yards, but that one that Waddle ran, I was like, where is the defense? I was like, yeah, there's no defense here. Yeah, Andrew's 5th pick. I was talking crap. Remember in your league? I think in your league I have Andrews because I was like, well, gotta take him early. And
once him and Lamar get on track, dude, I mean they're going to be dangerous. I mean that's a serious connection.
I didn't trust Kelsey, and I kind of feel bummed about that, but we'll see. It's only week 2.
I have Kelsey in a league, and I don't know if I trust it. I mean, dude, Patrick is just throwing everywhere. Like it doesn't matter. It's like I think getting rid of Hill was the best thing that could ever happen to him. He's becoming a better quarterback. He's spreading it around. You don't know who to cover. Like there's not just 2 guys. Like he's got to just squat, which makes pretty much all the KC receivers unusable in fantasy. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much. Just like, back in the day, kind of like Tampa now. Like, yeah, you can pick up Evans because he's a touchdown machine, but it's like you don't know who's going to have the hot hand later. Like when Brady was in New England, like he just passed it to whoever was open. Yeah, that's a smart play for football and stuff, but sucks if you're a fantasy owner.
Doesn't help us out at all. Oh man, I just dropped Knox. I absolutely just dropped Knox for Cole Beasley in one of my leagues. That's what I think of Knox. As barren a wasteland as the tight end position is, I just dropped a Knox for Cole Beasley. That's what I think of Knox. Did you see him drop that ball in the touchdown? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Man. You gotta be able to do better. You gotta be better. What's going on with that? What do you think? Speaking of being better, will Baker Mayfield win more than 5 games this year?
Dude, they need to get it to McCaffrey. I don't know. Like that's it. I can't take it.
What's going on? I thought DJ Moore was going to shine this year. What's going on? I mean, dude, Baker Mayfield, let's go. What's happening?
Yeah, they need to do something, but I mean, DJ Moore has a touchdown, so that's a step in the right direction, right? So because usually he has like consecutive 1,000-yard seasons with like single-digit touchdowns. It's like absurd. Yeah. So that's been his whole problem. Like he would be a top wide receiver if he would ever catch touchdowns. Hopefully he just adds he keeps the yards and gets touchdowns. But
yeah, that'd be amazing. I mean, hopefully they go hand in hand. Yeah,
Carolina's offense ain't doing anything. So
Yeah, until Watson, at least until Watson gets back, or even if he does, Peter, I would be dropping Njoku and just going with Everett. Just let it ride. You don't need to hold up a spot with those two turds. Like, just, I mean, I think Everett's going to be okay, and he seems to be getting better week by week. Uh, Njoku, just let him go. He doesn't deserve a spot on the roster. What are you doing?
DJ is the tight end person. Like, that's who I would listen to. Like, if you're picking quarterbacks, like, that's where I like. Like, I was a Herbert guy from the beginning. And if you look at streams from like 2 years ago, I'm like, no, Herbert's the real deal.
He's got a cannon, and he's got some weapons. And, yeah, I believe once him and Mike Williams get on the same page, that's going to be lethal. They'll put him right back up there with Jeffries and Diggs and Cooper. Oh, Andrews went 5th pick in one of his leagues. I mean, yeah, is barren a wasteland as tight ends? People get scared. And, I mean, if you want points in that position week in and week out, you got to take one of the top two, or it's a flyer, a complete punt.
Yeah, fantasy football is like Yahtzee, man. Sometimes you just got to fill out the best points in that slot. Like,
oh, man, exactly. I mean, hey, points are points. Like I say, kickers matter. Andy just won by 1 point, he said. I mean, a lot of my games week in and week out are being decided. Like the experts have us within a point and a half. So,
dude, your game the first week, didn't you win by like 1/10 of a point or
not
less?
Dude, it was like a 600th of a point. I was playing Jake. Right there in the chat. You just had to bring it up. I wasn't going to talk about it, Jake. I wasn't going to bring it up.
Whoa. I was looking at it. I'm like, because you won on Monday. And I was like, oh, I want to relook at that in the morning, because if there's just a few adjustments in 1 yard could have won that for Jake. So, like, a 1 yard gain by a running back could have been the difference. And so I was like, if the adjustments are made later, he might end up with the win, but he didn't. I didn't know who it was. I was just amazed. I was like, damn, he barely got by.
That was the second closest win I've ever had. That was nuts. But, yeah, by less than half a point. It was just brutal. Brutal. Oh, man. What do you think about Michael Thomas this year? Some people reached for him. Is that going to pan out, or is that going to work out? I mean, you got a busted up quarterback out there in New Orleans. What are we going to do about this?
I don't know. Like, I'm a Florida State fan, so, like, Jameis Winston all hurt. Like, he probably plays his best football when he's all hurt. He had his, like, broken finger and stuff, and he's, like, winging it out there. I don't know. I don't know what to think, but, I mean, it might be good for Michael Thomas people, because when Jameis Winston, he just panic throws the ball a lot. Like, let me get it out of my – but it might be good for him. But it's worrisome that he gets all his points in the fourth quarter. Like, Michael Thomas doesn't do anything until the fourth quarter. Maybe that's a good thing, saying he trusts him when it matters, but why don't you trust him the whole game then?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Winston's scary. You never know if it's going to be 5 touchdowns or 5 interceptions. It could literally be either one.
Dude, I traded – okay, so my trade was in another league was Jameis Winston and Rashad Penny for Christian McCaffrey. So I need that to pan out.
I would take McCaffrey all day in that situation. I think that's a great trade.
I know, because it's a 2 quarterback league, so like that it does have some value. I remember I messaged everybody in my league beforehand. That's why I messaged everybody. If you auto draft, you will lose the league. Like, you do not have a chance to win if you auto draft, because when the projected values of quarterbacks are so low, people are going to pay way more than that. And the auto draft will bid all the way up to the expected value of a player. So you would be out of money in your first 3 picks.
Oh, wow.
So it will bid up. Like, when my brother-in-law came in, I don't know if you saw the chat, but I was like bidding on Najee Harris. I was just bidding him up to the maximum amount because I saw my brother-in-law wasn't in yet. So I was like bidding him up to the maximum amount so that so auto draft would force him to get him. And then he came in at the last moment. I didn't end up with him, but only because I saw that he came into the thing.
Yeah, those boys made me pay up for Jason Taylor, but I was like, dude, you got to have stars. Let's get it. Oh, probably going to start Carr over Herbert. What do you think about that?
It might be smart, but like I always say, Carr is like the most underrated quarterback.
Oh, me too. I'm a believer in him, but I think Herbert's the top 3, and if he's in, how do you not go with him?
Because if they're winning by 17 points, he probably comes out of the game.
Maybe.
Like if you're worried about him being hurt for multiple games, or if they're losing, like if you're like, we're probably not going to come back. Let's lose the battle to win the war. That's what you're worried about. Or he just gets landed on.
Yeah,
and then
that's just it. If he gets landed and hits hard and has to come out, that's the worry. But if they're down by 17, people saw what Miami did last week. Nobody's coming out of nothing. Like you got to be up by 40 points in this league for people to come out. Like when Josh Allen came out in the third quarter. Oh my
I don't know.
God.
I think if you're hurt bad enough, you might take him out early. Like 3 scores, you're probably taking him out. But that's just me. Like if you got your young quarterback you want to bring to the future, but I think it's a good play to play Eckler this week though. Like it's good for Eckler owners, I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah, because of that hurt rib, absolutely. But I mean, then again, when are you not playing Eckler? Like,
right, but I just mean like it's a good like people might be worried about him a little bit after these last 2 weeks. He hasn't really done anything.
Who are your 3 biggest surprises this year? Like biggest breakouts or biggest busts? Like what surprised you the most so far this year in the first 2 weeks?
Tua going for getting like 80 points or whatever in fantasy. Yeah. That was a big surprise.
That was insane. Your league, your point system's nuts.
Yeah, like it's out of control. I'll bring it down next year, but I had to get like a reference of like scoring.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. Like everybody seems pretty decent. A lot of them that I picked. Wilson, I did not expect Wilson to come out. Like Elijah Moore not getting more targets and Wilson getting all the targets out there.
Wilson's a bigger bust than I thought.
I thought Dubs would do better, but these are all my rookie people. I don't know, like veterans. Yeah, Dalvin Cook. No, none of the running backs are doing anything, so I'm not panicking on that. Right, so I'm like, if every running back is doing bad, I'm okay with that. The biggest surprise was week 1. Dude, there was like how many turnovers in that week? It was like 30 or something. It was insane. Oh, yeah. Like the defenses were just destroying everybody.
But it's because none of the all-star offensive players play. So they didn't play all preseason. So they're just now getting their timing down. They're just now getting the feel of it. They're just now getting comfortable with each other. So it takes a couple of weeks for that to gel. I mean, that's not nothing. It takes a minute. That's why there's preseason, but everybody's too afraid of their guys getting hurt, so nobody plays them.
Right. And it was ugly. Like I think Jake was even saying in the in our chat, like, dude, it's hard to watch this week of football. That was true.
Oh, I love it. It was a great week of football. How about them Dolphins? Oh, Dotson, definitely one of the biggest breakouts. He's been amazing. Like I said, Andy just sniped me and got him in his league. I was able to get him in one of my other leagues. But, yeah, Dotson, I think, is going to be breakout. The fact that he's doing so much better than McLaren is killing me. I couldn't believe it because I've always been a Scary Terry fan, but he's just not doing anything. So that's just brutal. I can't believe the running backs. I don't know what's a bigger shock to me, that the top 5 fantasy players in points right now are receivers, not one running back, not one superstar running back. It's 5. The top 5 fantasy players are receivers. I don't know if that shocks me more or the fact that Justin Jefferson isn't one of
them. Right.
What? Top 5 players in fantasy are all receivers, and none of them are named Justin Jefferson. How does that fall out?
I have no idea.
I mean, he's number 6, but still, like, not the top 5. Like, where are you? You're supposed to be the number 1 in fantasy football. People took you. You're not even in the top 5.
What's the ranking right now? Are we going from your league? I guess that's what we're going off of.
No, I was just going off of general most fantasy stats. I think that's actually in PPR. Mine's not even PPR. I think that's a PPR league that's doing those stats. But yeah, I mean Waddle's up there, Cooper Cup, um, Tyreek Hill. Like 2 Dolphins are on there. Who would have ever thought that? Like in the top 5. That's amazing. Are you kidding me? And who's the 5th person? Cooper Cup.
I can't go based off my league because it's funny scoring.
Yeah, you got the crazy scoring. Yeah, that just blew me away. I was like, how the hell is that going on? And speaking of what's crazy, like, what about Allen Robinson? I thought he was going to be amazing this year. Like, where did he go? Like, is he just not? Did we overhype that, or am I just out of my mind? I thought he'd be great out there in LA.
I don't know. Like, I know they hyped him up in the early, like the preseason. And, I picked him up late. I didn't even pick him up. I have him one league, but I didn't start him. And I had him in. I had him and Akers in. And I was like, man, I'm going to take both of them out. We'll see how this works out, which was amazing because collectively they got like 2 points. So he did better this past week, but still not like you would expect for him. So maybe it was just like smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, like I said, you can't panic in the first 3 weeks. You got to let things kind of pan out and then start really getting to work. But yeah, it's been a bumpy ride. Like all the all-stars you thought were going to do great are just doing nothing. I thought Russell Wilson was going to go out there and just destroy things in Bronco land. Like, what's going on with that situation?
That might be the biggest one, right? Like that might be the biggest surprise. Because he's not doing anything out there. And like stuff that when he played against Seattle and he had the opportunity at the end to win, he would have won that in Seattle. Like they would have went down the field and won, but he didn't. So I don't know. And then you can't even do anything against the Texans. It's rough for him.
Oh man! Oh, Devontae Adams and Deebo Samuel. Those were the other 2 receivers. Devontae Adams, Deebo Samuel, Cooper Kupp, Waddle, and Hill are the top 5.
So in mine, I have it. Well, not mine. This is a different league, but it's Diggs,
and I think
Hill, Waddle,
Jefferson,
St. Brown, and Kupp.
I think that's PPR. I think in half PPR, it's Justin Jefferson might have snuck in the top 5, but still, just to be on that cusp when people had you number 1, that's just insanity. Speaking of insanity, what's up?
And Bateman was so late in he was going so late in drafts. And he's like number 7.
Yeah, he's actually looking good. Everybody was like so hyped on Kyle Pitts this preseason. What the hell's going on with him?
Got hurt. Oh no, Pitts. Sorry, I was thinking Pittman. Hey, I was hyped on him last season, right? They were like, he's a once in a generation talent. Dude, he screwed me over last season. And I'm like, all right, I don't even care about him no more.
He's ridiculous. They're saying that he's a receiver playing tight end, and he's just a receiver not catching passes is what he's doing.
Yeah, for real. That's hilarious.
2 targets this week. Yeah. Oh, what's going on? How are the Bears going to be this year by the end of it? I mean, is Fields going to be able to pull it together, or what's going on with him? Andy, or you might have to take a time out for a second.
Yeah, no, man, my wife was talking to me. Sorry. What was that? The Bears are terrible always.
He said that's just it. That's not going to be good. Oh, man. Yeah, Allen is I don't know. I don't know what's going on. We need to get Justin Fields out there throwing the ball downfield. But, yeah, no, it's rough. Oh, as a Bear fan, you still rooting for Allen out there in LA land? Just like, I don't know. It's like I kind of want to see Russell do good, but then kind of, I don't know, kind of on the fence. What are you going to do? Oh, man. Yeah, you cannot panic in the first 2 weeks. If you got Bateman, you're doing all right, though. He's not too bad. Oh man, Pitts. So many people were so hyped on him this year, and he is doing nothing. I don't know. I haven't bought into him the last 2 years, and I haven't been proven wrong yet. Everybody tells me how great he is, and I don't know. I've just yet to see it. He's been all right, but he has not been great by any means. So I took Pittman. He crushed it the first week, and then got hurt the second week. Well, we need him back this week. But actually, I took. What's that?
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say the receivers I thought were going to crush this year are all doing pretty well. I mean, I had a lot of Pittman. I got a lot of Gabe Davis, but I mean, he got hurt too. But I mean, they started out amazing. I had Amon-Ra St. Brown, like all the receivers that I thought were going to do it. I stayed away from the Cooper Kupps and the Jeffries of it all, and the Devontae Adams. Like I went for some of these other cats, Drake London's, and it looks like it's all teas and teacups and pies because it's fantastic.
But when you were talking about Fields, I said this a long time ago, or when they picked up Fields, because one of the dudes in our leagues, like I'm friends with, he's probably in last place in our league because he's terrible. But he is a Bears fan, and he was excited about Fields. And I was like, you forget that Trubisky has the same skill set as Fields. And they use Trubisky terribly. So why would you expect them to use Fields any better? Like, they're going to ruin another mobile quarterback. Like, that's just what's going to happen. Because people don't even know that Trubisky was like a great runner in college. Like that's when he came out. He was a dual threat quarterback, but you wouldn't know that.
Well, I know one thing: the refs are going to shorten Fields' career if they don't get off it. Because I mean, you even breathe on a Brady or a Rodgers, and you get a call. They let just tee off on Fields like 2 seconds after he released the ball, and still tee off on him, and that man hasn't gotten a call yet. Like that makes me sick, dude. That disgusts me.
I hate that happens. Like almost every quarterback, their first like few years, it's like, oh, you got to pay your dues or something. There was like a whole thing about it one time where where a referee was explaining it on the air, like why these guys, like the veterans, get more favorable calls. Like I don't know. They're like the young guys need to pay their dues. Fuck that.
Yes, dude. No, you're killing these guys. You're shortening their careers and shortening the fun for us to be able to watch as fans. Like it's complete BS, man. That's some of these refs just need to get bitch slapped for letting that. Like, oh, you're gonna let him tee off like that? How do you like it? Boom! Like it's unbelievable, man. It makes me sick. Like you just see, like I said, you just breathe on some of these quarterbacks and you get a call, but these guys are teeing off 2 seconds later, a full 2 count later, and nothing. Like that's bullshit. That drives me nuts. Right. But yeah, if they play in typhoons, the Bears look good.
The hit that Herbert took, that would definitely be a flag on Brady because he dropped his weight on him. The one that hurt his rib, that they dropped their weight on him. Not completely like in the old days, but they did it enough that if that was like Brady or any old quarterback, that would be 15 yards. It's freaking annoying. Like hold everybody the same standards. I hate that.
Yeah, that's roughing the passer should be reviewable. I mean, or just consistent. Just make it consistent. Call the same calls, but giving half of them to half and the other. I mean, it's just not fair. It's not right. You want to protect the players, protect all the players, right? Not just the geriatrics. I mean, that just drives me crazy. Speaking of geriatrics, is Wentz for real this year? Like, can he keep these numbers up? Like, I don't know. Does he get even better when Robinson returns?
Dude, they call him Mr. Glass for a reason. He is not finishing this season. I'm picking up his backup so that, like, maybe I can salvage my other season.
He says it's not going to do it. You're not a believer, huh? I picked him up, but I mean, I picked him up in the league that I have freaking Josh Allen. So it's like, how much play is he ever going to get? But if Allen goes down, I like the numbers he's putting up.
Dude, I call him Mr. Glass. Like anytime I have in my phone a a meme from Unbreakable, where he's like, they call me Mr. Glass, and I have Carson Wentz's face on it, and I post it every year that he gets hurt.
Oh God,
I'm a terrible person. I understand.
It's almost fake and predictable like that, Jake. It's ridiculous. These refs are just sickening sometimes. Sickening. So obvious. Oh, just like what they did to the freaking Seahawks this week. The Seahawks are bad enough on their own. They don't need no help. You don't need to freaking cheat for the other team. The Seahawks will lose it all by themselves. They don't need your help, refs. Unbelievable. Double-digit penalty calls on the Hawks and one on a backup quarterback, San Fran. They only fucked up one time, huh? Never did nothing wrong, but the Seahawks got flagged every other play. I was losing my mind, dude.
Yeah, the Seahawks having their running back throw the ball, like
that play was open. That was a good play. He was a horrible pass.
But if you're Geno Smith, you're like, like this guy's throwing the ball instead of me. I could have done that. I could have got it closer. Like, I don't know. Someone said it, and I was like, I bet Geno Smith feels some kind of way about that. Like, they don't trust me to throw the ball.
Yeah. Or, I mean, the fact, that we need gimmick plays to score because I can't get the job done. Yeah, that's not gonna make you feel good. But I don't know, man. Wentz, he's looking good, and I'm all for it while he's going. But that's my thing. I'll probably have him on the bench because I got him behind Josh Allen. And then, by the time a bye week comes around, is he even still going to be playing?
Dude, that was me. Like, I put out a lot for Dotson, but I'm like, is Wentz even going to be there in 6 weeks? Like, that's the same way I feel about Wilson. Like, I did pick up Wilson really early in your league this morning or yesterday. I was there at like 9:00, like tapping away, like trying to pick him up. But I have Elijah Moore too, and I know that Wilson likes Elijah more than he likes Wilson. Like, I don't know.
That's a tough one. I have Elijah Moore in one of my leagues too, and it's like, what do you do with this guy? Like, he's just taking up a bench spot now. But even though, is Wilson going to come back? I mean, does Flacco lose his spot? The way Flacco, he's threw 4 touchdowns. He's throwing the ball all over the field. He's throwing it to everybody except for Elijah Moore. So is he going to lose his position when he comes back?
I don't know. They're saying right now it's still like Jeff Wilson's show, but like if he keeps, dude. If we actually look at scoring, like overall scoring, not just wide receivers, or not, if you do total offense, Joe Flacco's like in the top 5. That's insane.
No, that was just for receivers. Obviously, the quarterbacks are all going to be in the top 5 because they get the most points. But
so Flacco is one of them.
Oh, yeah. Him and Wentz. Who would have thunk it? Flacco and Wentz. Like, what? Where did this come from? And you know who's not up there? People like Brady, like Rodgers. I mean,
Rodgers, like, he's sneaky, man. He always starts up. Remember the relax. That's what I always think of when he's like relax. So I have Dubs on my team, and I'm like, all right. I always go back to Aaron Rodgers saying relax, and then putting up like MVP level numbers. So I was like, I am not gonna drop Dubs. Just because I want to see what the Packers do in 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, off to a slow start, but my goodness, he's got all his receivers are down. I mean, when Lazard is your best option, I mean, what's that really say? That can't be good. I don't know. That's rough. Oh, Peter Griffin actually asked me earlier this week, and hopefully I got back to him too late and he didn't listen to me. But in my opinion, it's always Patterson over Montgomery. Montgomery blew up last week. I think that's the best game he's going to have. Now, it's so funny. Everybody was talking smack about him week 1. Then they're like, this week, they're like, oh, Hubert's not going to take over. Like, it's his game. Montgomery's the man. Like, they're so like, whatever happens. Like, that's like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, you got to be able to call this stuff early. And I'm saying that was a 1-week wonder, and it's not happening again. And I still go Patterson versus the Seahawks all day versus Montgomery over Houston. What say you?
I'm going to go with probably Montgomery because I will end up starting Herbert, and it's not going to work out for me. So I assume Montgomery's going to get all the carries, and Herbert's going to just be sitting there with single digits.
Yeah, not until Montgomery gets hurt or until I don't know, until he has like 3 bad games. But I mean, they just always I don't know if it's in his contract or what, but they always just let him come back when I just think if you put Khalil in there, he's gonna be the man. Like that guy runs hard, he's in there, like just give him a chance. Let him get in there, get him consistent. I don't
Isn't
know.
it like Pollard situation? It's like, man, just let him get the ball. Like
Exact situation. Exact same thing.
Like
Except for
Zeke,
now Zeke's running hard and Zeke was hurt last year, I guess. So I don't know.
he still doesn't look good.
Well,
I
Zeke's
would rather have Pollard like running the ball every play.
he's way more explosive. He's the one that's going to that. He's not going to break you that 60, 70-yard bust. Pollard will. So
Right.
and the exact same thing. Like Khalil Herbert, he runs hard. He's got them. He just looks good. I just look at Montgomery more like an AJ Dillon, just like a little tiny, like little bowling ball that squirts through. And I don't know. I just don't see him having many more 100+ yard games. Could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. I don't know. And I was born in Chicago. I love the Bears. They're probably like my 3rd favorite team, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a believer in Montgomery. Celebrity Bikini says, I've always hated Flacco. He's a gunslinger, man. I mean, he's another one like Winston. He can give you 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, or 4 touchdowns and 4 interceptions in the same game. You just never know.
Dude, if I'm a terrible quarterback, I want to play in Baltimore. That's your best shot at a Super Bowl because only terrible quarterbacks win Super Bowls in Baltimore.
In Baltimore, I like that. Yeah, finish it in Baltimore. Yeah. That makes
Flacco has one, and Dilfer has one.
Exactly. Oh, ridiculous. What's going on with down there in Jaguarville? What do ETN managers do? It looks like Robinson is going to clearly take over that starting role. So I don't know. Does it fall back to a committee situation, or what do you do if you're an ETN manager?
You probably just sit him and hope that Robinson gets hurt. I imagine, like you didn't put too much on him, but I imagine a lot of people picked him in like the 5th round. You're not really dropping somebody you got in the 5th round.
That's what I'm saying. What do you do?
So you probably just wait and hope for the person that everybody picked up in the 10th round gets hurt. Because everybody was so low on Robinson that he probably went in the 10th round. And you're just hoping that he gets hurt or something. I don't know.
I got him in like I got Robinson in 2 leagues. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Just because, he fell so deep that I was like, how is he still here? So, yeah, I took him. I know he's the man. Like, when he's not hurt, he's always bombing. So, Peter Griffin said he saw Zeke running like a god. And then he looked up and saw it wasn't Zeke. It was Pollard.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, dang, look at him go. Never mind.
Nope, that's that other guy. Are the Giants for real? I know Saquon Barkley's for real. I don't know. Yeah. Can the Giants do it?
No.
What is going on? How do you have an athlete like Cordarius Tony and just not be able to utilize him? Or is that guy just a psychopath? Or what's going on now? What's up with that guy? Every time he touches the ball, it's amazing.
I dropped him. I'm like, get off my team.
He's droppable. He's either hurt.
Dude, I was like, I spent like a late rounder on him. I was like, we'll give him a shot. 2 weeks in, I'm like, screw him. Maybe it screws me over later on, but I'm like, I can't deal with like you not scoring any points. Get off my team. That's when I'm like, I got him beyond 10, so it's like I feel comfortable like dropping him.
Oh, I just had another guy drop him right away that he pretty much auto-drafted in my league and had to reset everything, and he ended up dropping him. And I was like, I almost picked him up, but I was like, and I kind of left him there. But I don't know, when he touches the ball or if he has a full game, he puts up 30 points. But it's just, Is that ever going to happen? Is he ever going to be healthy? Is he ever going to be on the same page with the coach and the quarterback? Like, I just don't know what's going on.
like something has to be up. If he's that good, they would be getting him on the field, right? Like
Yeah.
if he's
Dude,
that
he touched the
valuable.
ball twice and got positive yards, and one was for like 20. Like makes plays every time he touches the ball. He doesn't touch the ball. Why is that?
Maybe Daniel Jones don't like him.
I don't know, something. And he did seem kind of crazy when they did. He did seem a little nuts when they do interviews with him.
He did.
So I don't know. Something might be up with that guy. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I guess I'm not buying into the Giants either. I'm not 100% on them this year, but I am 100% in on Saquon Barkley. He's crushing it. Cowboys and Bears next for Giants. They could be 4-0. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Do you think Cooper Rush can get it done? He showed a little something last game.
Dude, I mean, I don't know. I got Flacco as my like bench, but I was gonna go for Rush, but I don't. He seemed pretty good. Like that's all I can say is like, dude, he wasn't bad. You won. You like won your game. You have your favorite target, sure, but like the fact, like he has his guy Brown, right? That he likes throwing it to. He's cool. You found another dude. Like it's not just Lamb out there. Which with Prescott, like he was trying to get it to Lamb the whole time. Well, Rush comes out there. He's like, well, I got Brown. Oh, I also have Lamb out there because now they realize like I could throw it to two people. Poor Schultz owners like myself in one league. Like,
what's going on with that? He's always hurt too, though. I mean, he's always got something.
I know. It's very frustrating.
That's always a problem. Speaking of frustrating, tight dude turn it around. Like I said, I think Henry's running soft, but you say it's okay. But what about? I mean, like, what's going on with the receiver situation out there? Is Treylon Burks going to do it? Like 6 targets for 47 yards doesn't seem like it's going to get it done.
No, but I mean, when they know you're throwing it because you're getting blown out, like that doesn't help. And like the Bills have a good defense, so it's hard to judge based off that. Like, yeah, it's tough because last year the Titans did so well against them, but they don't have the same offensive line anymore. The defense is okay, but it's not okay enough to deal with the Bills. Like, they're just same. The Titans I know and love. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is when you say, like, how can you bet against your team? Dude, I'm a Titans fan. Like, yeah, you got to find some way to be happy on Sundays.
Oh, man. Oh, I got this little antenna up. I hope this thing's not glitching again. I hate when that. I didn't clear it. I was like, I cleared it yesterday. It'll be fine. No, I got to do it before every stream. It looks like that's ours.
I see you all digity, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's it. As long as it's not skipping. Is it worth owning any other Chief besides Mahomes or Kelsey?
I mean, on a flex spot, you could put CEH in, but I'm not like, I'm putting him at the running back or nothing. No, and like, there's no one consistent enough to like do it. Like, I don't. How much does Sky Moore have throughout 2 games? Like 2 points.
Brutal. Yeah,
that's a bum.
Just a non-factor.
He's gonna be like Miko Hardman, right? Like every once in a while, like Sky Moore's gonna be like that. You're gonna be like, watch in a week or two, Sky Moore's gonna have like 30 points, and everybody's gonna be trying to pick him up off waivers because he got dropped so much after these 2 games.
Got to stay strong at least the first 3 weeks. That's what I'm talking about. Don't destroy your team before they're ready. They're saying Lenny Fournette should go this week. Is he a play, or is it time for Rachaad White to get in and shine?
I think you're playing Fournette, but if you can get White in your league, like, it's worth it.
Yeah, Leonard is not a young man, so it's definitely 27. Worth having ridiculous. For running backs is ancient.
Yeah, that's the bad year for running back. 27 years old. That's when running backs like they're down. That's their cutoff basically.
And Fournette, I mean, he's not injury prone, so I mean, he's somebody you got to kind of worry about. So yeah, everybody needs to have all kinds of Rachaad White. He should not be on anybody's waivers. I'll tell you that.
Dude, he just got dropped in 2 leagues. I mean,
what's that?
He was dropped in 2 leagues that I was in.
Oh, Rachaad White was?
Yeah.
I'd pick him up because Lenny's not going to last all season, and Rashad White, I mean, he's going to be the man and he runs hard. So I'd definitely be grabbing him. Do longtime fantasy legends Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers finally fall out of the top 10 by the end of the year? Or I don't know. Can you feel safe starting either one these days?
Who? Brady and who else?
Rodgers.
Like I said, Brady. Once his weapons come back, I imagine he'll be all right. But Rodgers, like I said, relax.
Relax. I'm not buying it. Oh, yeah, we saw Cobra Kai. We'll have to get in on that maybe next Monday. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about that. But, probably hopefully start that up next Monday, get that going. But, I've only seen the first episode and feel the Cobra Kai. We'll be getting back on that. Can Michael Pittman Jr. be trusted to start if he's a go this week? Like a star wide receiver with quad problems doesn't invoke a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I know they're talking about like it could be a bruise or it could be a strain. They can like have very similar outlooks, but I mean, if he's gonna go, like you're probably putting him in, especially if you're PPR. You're putting him in because Indy has to do something, right? They can't like start off. I mean, they can't start off that bad.
Yeah, they are, and I mean, come on, they got to get Jonathan Taylor going. What was that? That was ridiculous. Would you start Alvin Kamara with his ribs if he's a go this week?
Yeah, I mean, you probably feel like you have to, right?
You blew such a high pick on him,
yeah.
But man, that's rough. That's scary because I mean, it's how hard can he run and how many hits can he take if he's still got a broken rib? That's going to be brutal. I mean, He's tough, but man, that's tough. Who scores more points in New Orleans this week? Jarvis Landry or Michael Thomas?
PPR, no.
He just said no on either one. Who scores more?
No, I said PPR or no.
Oh, PPR,
yeah. I think Landry will score more. Go with that.
Michael Thomas, more of that fourth quarter deep threat. Oh, man, if you had Trey Lance, would you try to pick up Wentz, Mariota, or Tua off the waivers?
I mean, you got to go with Tua at this point, right? That's
just one game and a believer.
Yeah, well, I'm not believing in him, but he does have, like, the do it. Like, yards after. I would like to know what yards after catch for his receivers is because that's like they're out there just running around.
Celebrity Bikini says, how many points do I beat Andy by this week? Oh, is he going to do it? Is he going to be able to get his first win?
Oh, that would suck.
No, he's got to win. He's 1-1.
That would suck.
What are your expectations for Russell Wilson for the rest of the season? Because he is struggling out there in Denver.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, this is one of those situations I kind of feel like, you remember when he was signing, he wanted more like control over personnel in Seattle. Like that was a big deal to him. And then they were like, nah. Like, okay, we'll let you do it. I often think that like quarterbacks think they have better understanding of the needs of the team than like a person whose literal job is just to look up at needs, like calculate strengths and weaknesses. And then like, I get it. You want personnel, and we can all criticize like when the Bengals didn't pick up any linemen and stuff, and they picked up Jamar Chase, that kind of situation where armchair quarterbacks here are like, you should have done this, and then they go to the Super Bowl. I think it's similar to that, except for like, obviously he has more experience. So maybe it's just that they listen to him too much because he's a good quarterback. It's like, well, we want him to be here, so we let him have more input in Denver, and that was a big deal as to why he's going to Denver, and then it's just not working out. I'm wondering if that's it. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a brand new coach, so I mean, yeah, there's a lot to be worked out, and they're going to have to get on the same page and figure it out. Like, it sounds like Russell did take over, like out on the field, play calling or whatever at the very end, just because the coach was screwing up or the timing. Like, they can't get out of the huddle. Like they're getting all these delay of game penalties and stuff. They can't even get out of the huddle on time. What the
Right.
hell? Just brutal, absolutely brutal. If James Conner can't go, is it worth picking up Damian Williams or Eno Benjamin this week?
Probably Williams.
I think Damian Williams over at Benjamin's the way to go. I think Williams has a chance to have a bigger game, but I think Benjamin would be the safer, like he has a safer floor, but I think the ceiling's higher for Williams. I think if you want to swing for Williams.
I always swing for the fences, man.
Absolutely, yeah. You want those points. Oh, one-on-ones. Who do you think the number one quarterback's going to be this year?
Probably Josh Allen, because I only have him in one of my leagues.
Josh Allen, you think he outdoes Mahomes, Herbert, Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray's struggling a little bit, but boy, he brought it together at the end of that game last week.
Yeah, I think he's probably more consistent. He can, dude, if he doesn't get his head taken off.
Like, yeah, he's got to quit running like that, jumping over people. What's he doing? Landing on his back? Like, that's not going to – he's too big for that.
And then he gets up, he's all smiling like as big as I am right now. He's like, this is fun. This is football. Like, stop it, you idiot. But
lots of teams get delay of games in Seattle, Jake, but he was playing down in Houston, getting them just as many or more. So yeah, they got to figure that out. But what was that?
Yeah, he just needs to stop the run, and then it will probably be him. But because don't stop the running, but learn when to and when not to.
Yeah, no, Jake, we can't have that. We don't need that at all. I got Allen, and I need him to take me to the promised land again. That's my guy. Any chance Swift ends up with the most points for RB? No, because I don't think he can stay healthy. I mean, the guy's so explosive. He's an amazing playmaker, but I don't think he can stay healthy. And I got Williams, so, get that back up. Got to get that back up. Speaking of, who is going to be the number one RB by the end of the season?
I have no idea. This is one, like, everything's so close right now. Like, it could be anybody. Taylor had a great game. Yeah, it could be. Like, he's top 5 right now, but he's like in the same boat as Taylor. Yeah.
Who else? Is there another one up there you can think that might have a run for it?
Not at the moment. Like, I think as it goes, Joe Mixon's probably going to do pretty well, but that's just me hoping. Yeah.
Maybe Eckler gets up there.
Eckler, I only picked Eckler up in my one league because I feel like you had to, right? Like, in that space, he was there. He's like the best running back available, but he's so touchdown dependent. Even last season, like so many of his points were off touchdowns.
Speaking of split backfields, what do you go, Hunt or Gordon?
Who? Oh.
Kareem Hunt, Melvin.
I'm going to go Gordon just because, like, I don't know, like, Hunt is good for catching passes and ruining your freaking tough week when you have Chubb in your lineup. Like, that's about it. But I'm going to stick with Gordon until they, like, actually switch it up. Like,
oh, man, they're just screaming for Javonte. But I'm going to go Hunt. One, because Andy went Gordon. And two, because I remember last year, it seemed to like alternate weeks last year.
Dude, it did too. I remember.
Yeah, it seemed like if Chubb just went nuts one week, that Hunt went nuts the next week, and Chubb lost his mind this week. So I think it's going to be Hunt this week. I think they rest Chubb up and they try to go back and forth. So I'm going to go with Hunt this week on that one. He said, yeah, best number two. Best number two. I don't know which one you're talking about. Chubb is consistent, but they let Hunt run a lot on the goal line. Yeah, exactly. I think it's going to be Hunt for sure. Oh, who do you think the number one wide receiver is going to be by end of season?
Probably Cooper Cup because I have him in 0 leagues.
Yeah, Cooper Cup. Yeah.
Absolutely 0 leagues do I have him in. So he will be number 1. Everybody else that is like number 1 contenders, like I have in at least 1 league. So
yep, I'm the same way. I have 0% of Cooper Cup this year. He was my man that took me to the promised land in the Fantasy Bowl last year, and I have 0% of him this year. I don't know. I just don't do. I like to look for the next guy. I'm never looking back. I'm always looking forward. Oh, who's the number 1 tight end by the end of the year?
come on, Andrews.
Andrews is going to take Kelsey out. You might be right. You might be right on that. And last but not least, who's going to be the number 1 defense?
Bills.
That's a wrap. I mean, the Bills are, and that's what I did on your draft. Is like I knew the Bills were going to be big. I knew a bunch of people were going to want them as a defense, so I put them up early for draft just because I figured people would waste a lot of money, and they went for so more than I thought they like. That was a strategy. I was like, I know I'm not going to get him. So, dude, like almost 20 for a defense. It was nuts. I remember it was like 16 or more.
I have him in a different league, but they didn't go for that much. I think I got him for like 8, which that was at the end, and I had so much money left over in that one. I was like, I can spend 8 on the Bills defense.
Even 8's a lot for a defense, I think. But I mean, yeah, to almost 20 when you're only starting out with what do we start with? 200? Like 10% of your fab for your defense? Like, I don't know. That was just crazy.
I did,
and I knew that would happen. I knew it would happen.
To be fair, in that league, like defenses are valuable. Look at the Bucks last week. The Bucks had 44 points.
Oh yeah.
So that defense, I tried to make a defense have a little bit more value.
I mean, I went up and I grabbed the Dolphins defense with my very last pick of the draft, and they put up 28 points for me the first week. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, what more do you want than that? I didn't spend shit. I think I got them for $1, or not even $1. It wasn't your league; it was another league. But yeah, I picked them up as my very last draft or my very last pick, and then ended up starting them, and they got me 28 points right out of the gate. So. Hell yeah. And then for all those people out there that say, oh, you don't keep 2 defenses, don't keep 2 tight ends. Sometimes it's a good idea. Sometimes if you see the what their games are and who they're playing, like I said, I picked up the Dolphins and I got 28 points that week. I also have the Green Bay Packers, and because I didn't want to play the Dolphins this week, they would have got me 1 point, and the Packers got me freaking 20 or something. So it's like, how is it not worth having 2 defenses for me? I'm getting over 20 points a week with my defenses, playing the right one at the right time, and you're going to tell me I shouldn't have 2 rostered on my team? Like, some of these analysts, I just don't understand the way they think. Like, dude, there's different scenarios. There's always a reason.
If we look at my team right now, I have 0 defenses on my team. I have 0 defenses and 0 running or 0 kickers. So that's where I'm sitting at right now.
Yeah, that's crazy. Can I share? Share video, exit explosion.
Yeah, your team in my league it's a beast of a team.
I guess that's this one. We can share that. Oh, let the people see. I think that's showing my team. Or no, that's showing our league right there, right?
Yeah. So we're 1 and 2, me and you. You're 1, I'm 2. 2 weeks
But, I mean, we're both 2-0, so I just call it tied for first. Like, they can say I'm first, but I call it tied for first. We're both 2-0, and that's what really matters.
So you go up against my dad this week.
Is that Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
They actually have him. They have me slated to lose. But here's my team for everybody who wants this team Andy thinks is so great, which is pretty darn good. But I got Mahomes as a quarterback, Marquise Hollywood Brown. We need him to wake up and do some things. Arizona's struggling this year a little bit. But I'm on the Ross St. Brown. I have him in almost every league. I knew he was going to ball out. He is. I got Jason Taylor. Expect him to come back and do big things this week. I mean, We're doing all right, but James Robinson, you can see that I played him over ETN last week because I just knew that was going to be the right play. I got Tyler Higbee as a tight end. Drake London I'd put him in this week because I think he's going to be balling out. I love him. And Jalen Hurts for my backup. I mean, dude, how did I end up with Mahomes and Hurts on the same team? Are you kidding me? For a super
That's
flex,
beast.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Now go to mine.
He said, "No,
See mine.
Oh, I keep you on the wrong screen here. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to YouTube. Let's go back over here, and then go to. I might have to do this twice.
You can just go to league.
Yeah.
Yep, an overview.
Okay, chicken legs. What made you pull that name out?
Oh, okay. So this is like an inside joke. I even changed the name of my league because I got my little brother to join the league, and it was called like midlife arthritis at the time. But my brother is like 16 years old, and so he's like, he made his team name "Being Old Isn't Cool," and then so that's why I named my team OK Chicken Legs because he has tiny little legs, like he's like little girl legs. And so whenever I go down there, if like we go to the beach or something, my legs are huge, like and relative to him. So for Christmas and stuff, I got him like one of those thigh masters and like the things that the girls used to use like in the 80s. I got him one of those. So that's why my name's OK Chicken Legs.
Oh, Jake's never invisible. I think they had you at number 3 in Andy's league, didn't they? We'll look at that one next. So break down your team for us.
All right. So I'm a big Herbert fan. So that's why I picked up Herbert. See, this is like why I really like auction. Is like in no other league are you going to get Jamar Chase and Dalvin Cook on the same team, right? Let alone with Andrews on it. So like 3 top 5 people at their positions projected, right? But there's no way you're getting all those in any regular league. So Herbert, he's my favorite quarterback right now, like going in the league if you don't get Josh Allen. Obviously I picked up Chase because he's a beast out there. Dotson, I just picked him up. We talked about that earlier. I was just trying to find somebody to fill in the hole. I'm really waiting for Gallup to wake up, or get better. But gambled a bit on Javonte Williams. Like hopefully this is the season because now Melvin Gordon, he's over that 27 years. So I'm kind of betting on Williams to take over. And in the future, if he does not this season, I will probably not pick him in any other fantasy league ever.
Ever again. That's how I am.
Yeah, I'm fickle like that. So, and then Dalvin Cook, because everybody has to have a homer. That's like, I feel like if you're trying to have fun with fantasy football, you have to have a homer pick, whatever it is. And I'm a Florida State fan, so Dalvin Cook, that's my homer.
I got Cook. I need him to wake up.
Hopefully he does, but
yeah.
Then I got Andrews because tight ends are important, as DJ used to say. And here I am sitting with like a pretty good tight end. Now, Dameon Pierce, I have him in right now. I don't know if I'll keep him in, but for right now
I think he balls out this week.
Yeah. I have him in because of Chicago, and he out-touched Burkhead by a ton like last week. So I didn't have him in week 1 or 2, and I was just waiting to see what he would do. And so I might give him a shot. I have it set to give him a shot this week. And then Cousins isn't in prime time, so we can put him in our super flex. And then if you scroll down, you would see that the reason I have so many bench players is because I do not have any. I don't have a kicker or a defense. So I'm just waiting for like the IR spots to open back up because every week they'll go off IR and then hop back on IR before their games, and then I'll stream a kicker in the defense.
What's up, HVX? Welcome. He says, should I do Jefferson for Cook and Mike Williams? What do you think about that?
That's a tough one because Jefferson's going to produce. Mike Williams hasn't shown you that he's going to this season.
He had a decent game.
Yeah, a decent game. I don't know. Like, there's this thing. He's been in the league for a while, and he's had one good season. Like, so think about that. Like, how long has he been in the league? Like 4 or 5 years? He has one good season. So, I don't know. Maybe he does well. But the Cook we know is going to miss 3 games or whatever at some point this season. And Jefferson, like the new offense for Minnesota is supposed to be like a highly like an air raid style, like just passing it all the time, which is awesome for Jefferson. But after last week, I mean, I don't know if you can count it because Cousins he's terrible in prime time. But
he's awful. But yeah, that's a man. I need to know: is it a PPR league? Who are your running backs? Like, do you need help for your running backs? If you don't have anybody, I mean, Cook.
Also,
Cook's going to come alive. Williams, I think, is going to have a good year this year. But man, Jefferson, other than prime time, I think he's going to be week in, week out. A great, not good, but great player. So, also,
like, who are your running backs? The thing is I will always take a 2-for-1 trade as disrespect. For me personally, I think it's always disrespectful because it's just a way to manipulate what, like, everywhere, Yahoo or wherever you go, it'll be like, oh, these are the points differential. Like, this is the expected points you'll gain per week. And this is the expected, like, this point person will score per week. And then you're like, dang, I get a great value. You still have to drop somebody. Like, so to me, it's always, or almost always, I take them as like a disrespectful trade. You're trying to manipulate me. I get it. Not everybody's trying to do that. But I'm like, a 2-for-1 does not help me unless it's like I can start both of those people that you give me.
Which, I mean, Cook and Williams are both starts. I mean, they're definitely startable. And
Depends,
so you would think that both of them are going to be better than one of the people on your bench.
Yeah, probably.
So, I mean, you'll be able to drop. But I get what you're saying, definitely. Because, it's not like you're getting this player. You still have to drop somebody. And what if you like your squad and you don't want to drop anybody? Like, I mean, what if you have a Kenneth Walker on your team that you think might break out by the end of the season and be decent? Like, you want to keep him stashed, or some of these guys that are hurt. You got, Hopkins on your bench. You know he's coming back in a couple of weeks. You want to hold him. So, it gets a little tricky. But, I just need to know who your other runners are. Do you really need Cook? Because, this is a perfect buy low opportunity. And like I said, I think Williams is going to be great by the end of the year, especially in non-PPR.
Right. It's just risky. Like I was saying before too, like I have Dalvin Cook on my team and I have terrible luck with my players getting injured. So maybe that's
Dalvin Cook always gets injured.
Right. And he's 27 this year. So that's the big deal. 27 is when it's rough years for quarterback or for running backs. I'm sorry.
I think in my league, Dalvin Cook was my first pick. That was really rough. Like, that was my number 1 pick, and he has done nothing. Squad douche so far. So it's killing me. Me. Oh man, should we put up Celebrity Bikinis team? Let Jake take a peek.
Yeah, let's see it.
Let's see how our man's doing over there.
Let's see Jake's team.
Where is he at?
Telling you, next year we do mine. I'm making a trophy this year too, by the way. I'm sending it so you can take a picture, and if you win, you get a picture, your name put on a plaque.
Sick digital trophy.
No, it's gonna be like a real one. I'm gonna send it to you, FedEx,
Oh, feel it?
UPS. Dude, it's gonna be
Amazing.
like a big one. You can put it in the back if you win. I mean, you're not gonna win. It's gonna be right back here somewhere. My wife's gonna be mad. It's at her computer, but
Oh, his defense. Indianapolis, he can drop them. I just did in both leagues. San Fran, there you go. And then how's he looking? He's got some Tua time, dude. That's what won it for him. Like, what do you have? Like 85 points or something
yeah,
ridiculous in your league?
something ridiculous.
That's just asinine.
You can go to Hold on, I'll look it up. Matchups.
It was insane. Oh man. But then Tyreek Hill, I mean, he's just balling out with that one. He's got Rashad Bateman, who's been doing it. Joe Mixon, he had a rough game, but he's going to be back. Nick Chubb was absolutely amazing. Isn't this the squad he was crying about, saying he had no chance? This is a great team. Kyle Pitts needs to wake up and do something. Gabe Davis, when he's healthy, he's absolutely going to be a baller this year and a top 10 receiver, in my opinion. And the rough one is his second quarterback at Geno Smith. But, dude, he came out that first game and went 13 for 13. So if we get that Geno Smith, you're going to be right on track and be doing it.
87 points.
Celebrity says, I'm going to need a mantle. He says, I'm back on track. I got a chance. So you're saying there's a chance. How many points was it?
87.
87 points from any fantasy player at any time is goddamn ridiculous.
He was probably winning anyway. I think, like, even without that.
Who, Jake?
Yeah, like he was gonna win that without, like, he could probably bench Tua and still won.
Oh wow, I don't know about that.
Oh no, he would have lost by 0.5 points.
That's amazing. So yeah, that's when your team comes out and absolutely balls out of control for you. Absolutely loving it. So I can actually drop that. That might make things run a little smoother. Got out of here. Just take a quick peek. We'll go into my league real quick. And let's take a look at Andy, who's 2-0. Absolutely doing it. And a big reason is probably right there at the top of the screen, Mr. Josh Allen. I mean, how are you going to go wrong? Tell us about the rest of your team.
All right, I can't see it.
I forgot. I got to
present it, man.
I'm looking at it. What do you mean? It's when I cleared that other one, it stopped it. Let's see. Window, go to you, go to share. Look at me getting all crafty. Boom. There it is. Tell us about it.
All right. So this is why I was saying, like, my team here is worse than my other team. So Josh Allen, like, that was my big one. I think I took him the first quarterback off the board. But that was in round 3. First pick, Jonathan Taylor. You get the first pick, you have to go with it. Like, and it's important to note that this isn't PPR. This is just standard scoring league. So, you wouldn't go McCaffrey on that one. So that's what I did. And that picks, okay. So if you can see my team name, you can't really see it, but my team name's CD's Nuts. And I didn't want to change my team name, so I picked up Lamb because he was still there. Because I'm a kid at heart, right? Like, I was like, I like my team name. I'm keeping that. And so I had to pick him up because he was out there. T. Higgins, which in retrospect, this isn't a PPR, so it's not as valuable here. That's fine. AJ Dillon, I'm just hoping Jones gets hurt or something. I don't know.
A lot.
Yeah. Then I picked up Goddard all late. And I just picked up, like I said, Garrett Wilson. I picked him up. I had Melvin Gordon in there before. Gainwell, because I think Sanders is going to get hurt. I probably should stop thinking people are going to get hurt.
Yeah, that's a terrible way to think.
Yeah, what I do is if I have them in another league, I assume they're going to get hurt, and then I pick up their backup.
Celebrity in a dual quarterback league, you had to do that. I think that's actually a good move.
What's that?
He needed a second quarterback, so he gave up Hunt for Geno.
Oh yeah.
And in a double quarterback league, you absolutely have to do that.
Oh yeah, all day.
So you're 2-0 and you're not feeling so strong about this team? It looks like a pretty solid squad to me.
Yeah, I think it's
Taylor
because
and
I'm
Allen?
jaded. I think I'm just jaded because it's not like an auction league, so I can't have like 2 first-rounders in it. That bums me out.
Right. But you got the number one quarterback and the number one running back. So, I mean, that's the top 2 positions, and you got the top 2 players. That's not too shabby.
And then if CD Lamb does anything later, that would be great. But I need that to happen.
Yeah, that's where you're definitely lacking, obviously, is in the receiving core. Like, you don't have any all-star receivers.
Wait, go down. This is a big problem with my team. As you can see, I have 2 Jets wide receivers. That's not good.
And neither one of them is the right one.
No, Garrett Wilson is the right one right now.
Yeah. It's like Garrett Wilson is the only receiver you really want right now. It's pretty much the only Jet
when Wilson comes back, Elijah Moore is going to be the guy. So I couldn't drop him either.
Yeah, exactly. I'm in the same boat in my other league in here. It's same exact boat. Got to do it. It's like, he's going to be valuable at some point, but boy, he's just taking up roster space at this point.
And then I picked up Ingram because in case Kamara doesn't go. Just in case.
There you go. Oh, man. So, yeah, pretty solid week 3. What are we expecting this week? Or actually, who do you think? Let's just get it in real quick. Our first episode. Who do you think's going to the Super Bowl this year?
The Bills.
Absolutely. The Bills are going to be one. Who's coming on the other side? Who's your NFC players? Tell you what, the way the Eagles looked the other night, it might be them.
Yeah, I think it's a little early to call them, but yeah, I'm not picking anybody from the NFC least.
Nobody from the NFC is coming. Not nobody.
No,
oh, man. Amazing.
I don't know who. Man, I can't think of who. Like, do you think that Tampa could make it again?
No. I have no faith in Tom Brady this year. I think they're old. I think they're just, too much going on. I don't think they're going to do it this year.
Yeah. Me neither. They need to. I don't even know who's got it this year.
I mean, if Kirk Cousins can get this new offense in line, I mean, they've got all the weapons to do it 100%. But they have to do better than what we saw on Monday night. That was despicable.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, how great of a story would it be though if the Vikings can go to the Super Bowl and then Cousins just balls out in the Super Bowl and he's like, "See, look, you don't get more prime time than the Super Bowl."
It doesn't get any more prime time than this. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. Kyler Murray, once he gets Hopkins back, I mean, and Connor gets a little healthier. I mean, can the Cardinals do something? I don't know. Yeah, the NFC, it's rough this year.
It's tough because it kind of does look like Kyler Murray does not watch film sometimes. Like that came out, and then you watch it, and you're like, if you watch his games, you're like, that makes so much sense. Like he's running for things, and you're like, look how good he is. No, he just didn't read the defense correctly, or like he doesn't know what they're doing, and it's like, that kind of makes sense. He's like trying to brush it off. That's ridiculous. Of course, I watch film. Dude, they had to put in your contract that you have to watch that.
That's insane. That should never be a problem. He said Andy going down this week.
More times than your sister. No,
oh, man. Oh, going to be a good one. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know. The Vikings was my early pick, but yeah, now it's a little rough. I don't know. We got to see what's going on and see who can put some stuff together. It'd be amazing if Joff could take a second team to the Super Bowl. That would be everything.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Dude, if he could do that and they're like, you wanted to dump me? Haha, look what happened now. And then he goes, that'd be amazing. Even
Dude,
though
I
they
would
already won.
love to see the Lions in a Super Bowl. That would be
Dude,
amazing.
that would be amazing. That would be. I mean, they got the talent. They got the receiving core. They've got the running backs. I mean, their defense is fairly solid. I mean, if Joff can keep it together and not throw interceptions, I mean, I think they got a great chance.
And you don't need a win in my league, dude. Your points are so high, like it'll round itself out. Although I can't say that. Like in my one league, I had like the second most points and came in last place. So
Oh, I was about to say points don't matter, dude, because if they do, I'm looking great. I'm
they
light
matter
years
as far as ties go.
I'm looking good. I think I'm light years against everybody in points. I don't know. My first couple of
Dude,
weeks, one dude was just balled out.
I'm just lucky because I thought I was gonna have a big one with Cousins and Cook. I was like, oh yeah, I got plenty.
Whoopsie.
Didn't do shit.
I got
Killing
nothing.
me.
Yeah, I can't believe you won that. That was a eke out because they both epic failed. Oh, man, but that's going to do it for us. We'll be back next Wednesday night talking some more fantasy Fruit Loops. Want to thank Snafu for coming back on. Been way too long. Good being on again, man. Can't wait to do it again next week. And for everybody into that Cobra Kai, we're going to try to get back on. And you going to be able to do that next Monday, you think?
Maybe. I have soccer games on Mondays. Like,
oh, we might have to flip that then. Yep, we'll get that figured out. We'll let you know. But, yeah, as far as football is, good luck, everybody. Let's get a win this week. Be easy.